What's up guys, it's Faris. Welcome to episode 6 of No Excuse for Abuse. Today we have two very, very special guests. I'm so excited for this. Joining us, we have 𝐀𝐦𝐳𝐲 the Madman and 𝐻𝐬𝐬. How you guys doing?
What's up, man? I'm doing good, man. How you guys doing?
I'm good, man. I'm gonna talk like you then. I'm straight in with you, bro.
Hey,
You
yeah,
know the ones there?
I'm chilling, you know what I'm saying?
Good,
Yeah. Guys, honestly, I'm so excited for this and I'm trying to figure out where do I begin. We've got about 45 minutes and there's so much to go into, but I've already calculated it in my head. I want to start with you.
No, don't start with Steve. That'll be it. 45 minutes later. I do talk a lot. But I'm here to listen as well. Love to listen.
You both have such different perspectives when it comes to online, social media, trolling, abuse. And the way I want to segue into 𝐻𝐬𝐬's story is by starting with yours. So to begin with, 𝐀𝐦𝐬, please tell people watching how you started this whole madness. 𝐀𝐦𝐬 the Madman. I know your biggest platform is Snapchat, right?
Yes.
How did you get into this?
How did I get into it? Well, it started off as me, and I obviously am who I am, and I've always filmed myself, whether it's been on a N95, on a camcorder, that's how old I am. So I've always filmed myself. So once platforms came about, it was just about uploading to the platform. So at first it was Twitter. I used to just take pictures and more time I'd be naked or some sort of weird stuff. That's where the madman come from. You know what I mean? I'd be jumping through the air, like hanging and balls all sagging and whatnot, excuse me. That's how it was. And then from that, I got banned from Instagram because I'd done a squat.
Did you?
Yeah, I'd done a squat and I was naked.
Oh.
And the balls were hanging low.
I can't be glad I never saw
I'm not
that.
joking, I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm gonna Google that one again.
Yeah, trust me. So that got me banned from Instagram and it was the end of my world because I was just starting to get a little following from pictures. There wasn't no videos them times there. And then someone said to me, one girl called Morgan, she messaged me, she's like, look man, like I've been following you and all of this, whatnot. She goes, I think you would be perfect with this app. And then she said Snapchat. These times it's just a sexting app.
Yeah.
You just send 10-second snaps to your mates or to a girl and it deletes. That's what it was for. So I'm doing that. I'm sending 10-second little clips of me being mad, like doing madman stuff when you could be mad and it was okay to be mad, you know what I mean? So it just grew. Like I added the 40 people in my phone and just literally they passed it on. So it became a local thing in Enfield and it grew and grew and grew. And then I was allowed back onto Instagram because my IP was banned from my phone. So once I was allowed back on, I started uploading the videos that I'd been doing for the last year on Snap and I'm here now, the rest is history, so yeah.
You're one of the UK's biggest influencers on Snapchat. This has grown over the years, you've become a brand. At what point did you realize like, okay, there's some bad that comes with this now?
Early, and this is the thing, I realized it when, because it's different now. I swear to you, they call me names and it's bad, it's still bad, but when I then get a job the next day from Disney, it helps it out a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. Or when I jump in the motor, it helps it out a little bit, but it's not enough. That's not enough. So the times I was getting abuse early, I was struggling, broke, but doing it all for love. So you're doing it all for love and then you're getting called nigger or people wanna rape your kids or they're saying they wanna rape your kids or whatever it may be and you're thinking to yourself, hang on, like, I'm literally putting all my ego to the side because these times I'm on the roads, I'm doing things on the roads and I'm doing things whatever. So I've got this little rep, but I'm like putting that all to the side to go and make people happy because it was making me happy. I didn't even know. All these years I was the class clown and at football and whatnot and I didn't make it as a footballer because you need to take football more serious or music, I'm in the studio, we should be making music, but I'm there with Big Nasty wearing a cussing match or whatever, you know what I mean? I was always joking and like, I thought it was my downfall. I need to take more things serious, but it became my biggest gift, you know what I mean? So I'm doing that and as I say, giving it to the masses for free because there wasn't no way to monetize it back then, you know what I mean? And then I'm still getting called this and that. That was when it hurt me. So now as I say now, and I don't say it to say, well, it's all right when it's bad, easy to be unhappy when you're in a range. No, it's not that. I was crying on my Snapchat today and I've got my range, I've got everything I want, really. I'm still crying, I'm still unhappy because the world's in a shit place, you know what I mean? So back then, as I say, it was early on I realized, wow, like it was mad. But I could then get the person, because again, they wasn't as smart as they are now. They didn't do the little egg thing or they didn't have no picture or no name. They didn't know that they were trolling. This was like legit arseholes. It wasn't a thing where you set up an account now and troll. Like people do it on purpose. Back then, it was just evil people. I think there's more evil people now, but as I say, they cover it now. Back then, you had a bit of an identity. You could put a face to it. So I would get them people, get their face from their YouTube, Facebook, whatever it may be. I'd get their family members. I didn't care. Remember, I'm from what I'm doing. Like it was eye for an eye where I come from. So I'm getting them and I'm roasting them. I spent the whole day roasting. So everyone's now laughing. You wanted attention, there's your attention. I'm roasting them until my numbers grew a bit more, and then you start roasting, and then you're now turned into the bully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's mad.
Exactly that.
You turn into the bully.
Yeah, I can associate with what you're saying because.
Mate, no, I'm gonna pause because you're the one that told everyone turn your phone off. Yeah?
So
Love you.
it's like, you get so accustomed to it and that, your skin does grow thicker over the years. And I've said it so many times, this is not about me, but you said it when it first started with you, it upset you. It really upset you, But if you had a weak mentality or mental health, not mentality, a weak mental health back in that day, you could have done all sorts of things.
Gone.
Gone, ruined your life, there's so many scenarios. But because you were strong and realised, but there's not many that are, there's a percentage of this world that are not so strong and a big percentage.
That's the key, bro.
And these are the people, people message me all the time, why are you bothered? I'm not bothered about myself. I can take it, give me all day long.
Yes.
I've had it for 30 years, I don't care. You call me this, that and the other, literally has no effect on me whatsoever. Has effect on my family, of course, but. So I completely understand where you're coming from, and I appreciate you telling your story because that's exactly right.
That's the key, bro. Like even, I see 𝐀𝐦𝐳𝐲, man, and I'll be honest with you, I feel sitting there a little
I'm
bit.
excited for 𝐀𝐻𝐳𝐲
I sit there a little awkward because I usually am the one that will I've got this hero thing, you know what I mean? And I caught onto her thing a bit later, but I was going through such a mad thing at the time with my own family and whatnot that my energy wouldn't have helped in many ways with her, man. But I do sit there and feel a little bit because I saw what she was going through, and I know you're gonna get to that or whatever, but she's tough.
Nah,
she's tough, man.
I'm going to segue into that, but one thing I want to touch on, you said that there's evil people, when you still believe that there's more evil people now.
Yeah.
Wayne thinks that there's something, they need help.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah,
They definitely need help.
Yeah.
But, go on, Wayne.
Sorry. There's people that are doing what they're doing. They're calling this abuse. They're calling me these names, this, that, and the other. But they're not even thinking about the consequences, But they don't affect me. But it's like I'm not saying they need help, but I'm offering it because there is deeper issues with these people's problems. Then you don't all of a sudden go on social media or in the media or wherever and just abuse people, without background history or whatever, So there is problems they've got, and I'm trying to put it across in a nice way instead of aggressively hating these people, and understand that they have issues. And I do feel sorry for them, as
Wayne,
much as you. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. I get that, and man, I've been doing it 8 years. I was at the start of Instagram videos when this whole thing started, right? So I've seen the progression of the troll, right?
Yeah.
And through the progression of the troll, the one thing that hasn't ever been spoke about, or they do, and it's more and more now, I know you speak about it, but it's like Instagram have seen that, Facebook have seen that, all these apps have seen the progression of the troll as well. Why ain't they progressing the apps? You know what I mean? Well, we know exactly, it's about the money. So my thing ain't about the trolls, man. Like as I say, I found so many ways to try and deal with them. I tried everything. I remember one time I went online, I was like, look, I've tried everything. It's got me to the point of tears. Like, what do you want me to do? I am gonna now go to the police. Everyone was like, all my boys messaging me, yo, bro, what, you snitch? You're a snitch. I'm like, okay. So there's no way out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there isn't,
There's no way out, you know what I mean?
So where do you think it comes from? Because you're, like you said, you're a guy who just promoted yourself, you created a brand, Steve the Madman. It's all about having a laugh. You bring your family into it. So that almost invite the public
Yeah.
to
That's what
get
they
an
say.
insight to your...
That's what they say. But when I first started it, remember, I was filming Kevin. It grew. It happened. I didn't mean for it to happen. So I was filming school runs because we were doing school runs. And I was sharing it, you know what I mean? And to be fair, at the time, I used to get criticised for sharing. Oh my God, why is he sharing his kid? Da, 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 da. Now I'm seeing every Tom, Dick and Harry want to make money from their kids. At the time when I now know, whip the kids away. You don't want your kids on it. My kids ain't got social media. I know that I can make £1 million with Erin tomorrow, but I won't do it. I won't do it till I know there's some policing, there's some rules. You know what I mean? And there's no rules.
Yeah, there isn't, yeah.
So next bit I want to go into now is, you know, your family are such a big part of your brand, your content, your lifestyle. Do you feel like you have to protect them now because of how involved they are and how many views you're getting?
Yeah.
And you've got an app, right? And tell me why you're involved with that brand now.
So the app you're talking about is ViewPay. It's a new app that I've invested in, and there's two sides to it. Two sides that I heavily believe in, and the main side that I believe in is the verification of these people that are coming online, entering on these platforms. If you're not on smoke, give us your details. The app doesn't keep your details. Just like if you're going to get a new phone contract or whatever, they don't get to see your details. It goes to, I think it's called tokenized data. You know what I mean? So it doesn't get seen by the shop. Halfords, O2, they don't see it. ViewPay don't see your details. You know what I mean? So people don't need to worry about that. But if it does need to be called upon, then we can say, okay, you want to say nigger? You want to say this, that, and the other?
Yeah.
Okay, who are you?
Nonce.
This is it. Nonce.
Yeah.
You want to call people a nonce that ain't? Want to call people a rapist? You don't go and fact check? Then let's go. Let's talk about it. This is who you are. Let's talk about it, because this is who I am. You lot are criticizing me, us, for putting ourselves online or whatever. At least we are putting ourselves online, and we're accountable for whatever actions that we do.
Yeah.
Let's have you accountable. You know what I mean?
And ViewPay holds you accountable for that.
ViewPay holds you accountable. You can't view any of the, like, you could go on there, you could view our stuff, you can't comment, you can't interact if you ain't putting your details on there, whether it be a passport, whether it be a driving license, like put your details on there. We use a platform, a system called Yoti, and a lot of the governing boards use that, but again, your data is protected still. I have to let people know it's not, I'm the one that I don't want my data. I've just bought a house, bro, and the questions they're asking me, I'm like, Rob, I've drove
Bro,
this house.
it's easier to open a Nando's account than it is. It's easier to open, a Twitter account than it is to open a Nando's account.
Yeah, it's mad. And listen, it gets even deeper in the sense that, so the app. So that's one side of it, and to protect, and for me to now, if my kids are gonna go on there and people are gonna be on there, I know that these people are gonna be held accountable. They're gonna have a name, they're gonna have a face to the name, you know what I mean? If it's a younger person, then it'll be their parents' details on there. But we're gonna be able to get to someone. Because at the moment, these people are clever. Like, I mean, they're opening up 8, 20 accounts. You can't get rid of them.
You actually can't.
You can't get rid of them. Like, it's literally, but like, how is that even allowed? How are Instagram, Facebook, or whatever it is? And by the way, I am putting it onto these platforms, but it's a growing industry. They need to move with it though. It's growing, but they need to move with it. You know what I mean? There's wars happening. Like, there is wars happening, and Facebook have just got a computerized algorithm, like trying to go through words and whatnot, and they don't even know the dialect. In Ethiopia, there's 9 different dialects. You can't speak that. You know, your computer can't speak that, so they need to move with the times, because it's starting wars. Like, listen, I'm not going to name countries, but they're literally doing like software propaganda and war.
A nonce in the dictionary is completely different to a nonce in the Urban Dictionary.
Is it?
Yeah, completely different.
I didn't know that.
You know,
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
but
it's
bruv, there's no fact checking. This is the thing, and there's so many different sides. Like what you said there, you have like a different story to mine, but it's all from the same place.
So, Amzi, I want to now get into you introducing your story. I told Wayne weeks before that we need to get you on.
He's been excited to get you on, bro.
Honestly, and Amzi has been asked by press news to tell her story, and she's not done it. And I just feel like this is such a special moment in, you know, not just your journey, but, you know, the platform for this whole organization. So in your own way, just summarize what happened to you from your perspective.
Can I ask you to explain how you have become this photographer for the Royals, etc.?
Yeah.
I mean, this is so impressive.
She's taking photos of the biggest
Yeah.
stars.
It all started in 2016. You know, I wanted to be a YouTuber, so I bought a vlogging camera, went to my first concert, and from there is when my camera, whilst it was taking videos, it also took screenshots. And then when I put that out on social media is when my friends were like, oh, this is so sick. And I just put two twos together and said, you know what, like this actually makes me happy. You know, like I've actually caught a moment. And like, you know, the first picture I took, you wouldn't believe it. It's like I caught something in a moment where everyone's like, but how did you do that? And then from there, I just kept going. And for me, I'm someone, I never grew up with anyone creative. I never had that luxury. I came from a very strict family where, again, education, you know, get your degree. You can't do this. It's because, you know, you're Muslim, you're a woman. You know, I had all the odds stacked against me to, you know, I was told not to be a creative. You know, my mom was like, what are you doing? Or my friends would be like, Auntie, you're embarrassing us because what is this putting yourself out on social media? And for me, it just drove me to keep going. And I hid it from my family, photography, for 1.5 years. I told them, like, when I was at concerts, I'm in the library doing my assignment, you know? And it was only at a point where obviously family members were contacting my mom and saying, isn't this your daughter with so-and-so? Or isn't that her picture? Yeah. And then it was just like, I couldn't hide it from my mom anymore. And I told her, like, this is what I want to do. And my mom said, if you get a degree and you actually get a degree, I'll give you 6 months window gap to show me what this photography can do, you know? And then, you know, here I am.
I know as an Asian how hard it is to explain to your family that culture, that you don't want to get a normal job, you want to be self-employed, you want to chase your passion. Just to let people know, name some of the brands and artists that you've worked with as a photographer.
Yeah, I worked with the likes of, you know, RIP Pop Smoke, Drake, Cardi B was my first ever press pass.
Drake.
You know, I worked, you know, for BBC Proms, which is obviously insane to me. Again, I took pictures of Meghan Markle, Harry, like, you know, and this, you know, I never had, like, you know, I didn't know anyone. I actually did it like myself, you know, and that was to keep going. That was my whole focus. Like, there's no one that represents me in this industry. I'm gonna do it for us, you know. And now it's got to a point where, you know, parents are more like, look at 𝐀𝐦𝐳𝐲, you know, like now it's like more, you know, open-minded, you know. I've now, you know, I'm happy that I'm a part of that history, you know, and, you know, parents looking, even like Chunks, you know, is, you know, he grew up in the same area as me, you know, from 2017, you know, if you date back to his pictures, it's like, I was, you know, I took some of the pictures and it's just like, you know, the come up and him breaking, you know, stereotypes, you know, on, you know, our culture. And, you know, he paved the way, you know, made it easier for someone like myself to also, do you know what I mean? And it's, you know, that courage and that hit, because at the beginning it's just like, how are you doing this? You're this, you're that. But then once, you know, you keep fighting is when everyone loves you. You know, and then, you know, and for me, I'm just really happy that I was able to do that, do you know what I mean? And now, you know, I get people, you know, I want to be a photographer. I got people that look like myself holding a camera. 𝐀𝐦𝐳𝐲, if it wasn't for you, you know, I wouldn't have done this because it's not accepted in my community.
Is that religion? That's culture?
Yeah, religion, culture, and, you know, the society that, you know, it's like, you know, a culture where, you know, back in the day it was like very small-minded. It's just like, oh, you can't be a singer, or you can't do, because it's just all we've known. It has to take one person to break that cycle for a change, and that's where history is made, you know, with the greats, you know, like Martin Luther King and
that's
you know,
why I said she's sick. You know what I mean? I've seen her for the last year, like, just go through the most, and I speak to Chunks. I speak to Chunks quite often, and it's tough for him. It's tough for him because of his religion, you know what I mean? And imagine your own people that you do it for.
Are the ones
giving you the most.
Imagine,
smoke,
like,
you
and
know?
that's what breaks my heart, do you know what I mean? Because I'm like, but another thing as well is there's more love than there is hate, you know? I have way more love. I got people saying, you know,
everyone says that.
You
But
know?
as humans, man, we do attract our brain subconsciously.
99.9% love, of course it is.
Yeah, and you need to flood them with the love. You need to flood them with the positivity. It's you know, another thing. Okay, perfect example. When you don't understand something, or, you know, I'm not a videographer and I'm frustrated, I would say I don't like videography. Why? Because I don't understand it. I don't know how to edit. And you get so frustrated in yourself, in you, that you release this anger. It's, you know, when people can't comprehend something, is when they release, you know, the anger, the hatred, and that's a reflection of them, not you.
So let me add to that. How about if they can't comprehend life? Know what I mean? So that's everyday anger. And that's what we're getting. Some of these people every single day that can't comprehend life. But again, and what you said earlier, bro, and this is what I was saying, when we talk about these people need help and all of this. Listen, man, I've thought like that years ago. But as I say, the only thing I could think of is, okay, you people stay there. Let's create something over here that the people that want good vibes can come and have good vibes on. Because we're never gonna, listen, I don't want Instagram or Facebook.
You're not gonna change this.
No, man, they're making hella money. The legislations are out there. They're there. They are there. You pay. This ain't a plug. This is why this is so perfect. They contacted me after they see what I was going through and said, look, mate, we've got the perfect thing for you. Like, do you want to invest? I thought to myself, okay, do I want to invest? Okay, let me put my money where my mouth is. Instead of going to buy the stuff for my house to do it up, I'll sacrifice that. I'm investing into this app. I'm going to invest money and time into this app. You know what I mean? So for me, the focus ain't on the wankers, the evil people, excuse my language, sorry. It's about, let's create a nice safe haven for people to come and have a vibe at, you know what I mean? So for me, I couldn't give a fuck about these people that are going through something that want to pick up a phone and be a cunt to people.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't.
I totally agree, bro.
I can't be a real. That's it. I don't care about you. I care about the people that want to hang themselves because of you. So I'm going to make them that want to be online a safe haven.
There you go. Well, that's what we need, you know, 100%.
𝐴MZY, obviously, this is your personal story. You can dig into it as much as you want and you feel comfortable with, but people like Wayne don't know and a lot of others want to know more. Tell us a bit about your personal, what happened with your sexuality and what happened with someone who you tried to bring into the industry and they tried to cancel you in this whole cancel culture, which I know, Stevie, you're well aware of. It's such an awful story. And I know you went through hell, and earlier on you said to me, the public don't actually know how low you really got.
Or the full extent, because, you know, it started, okay, so I'm doing, you know, social media, I'm doing photography, I'm, you know, working every other day, you know, and I've been warned about, you know, being in an industry or on social media, you're gonna have leeches, you're gonna have people that are fake to you. 𝐴MZY, like, protect your energy. I kept getting that. They're like, 𝐴MZY, like, you're someone that wears your heart on your sleeve and stuff. And I'm such a loving person. I actually created a platform for creatives because I felt lonely.
Future Culture.
Yeah, Future Culture X. I never had friends that was creative, you know? I never came from that. I had to step out from, you know, people telling me I couldn't and make friends with people that told me I could, you know? And, you know, and that reached, I'm not gonna lie, like, you know, hundreds of people started coming and linking up with me. Okay, so fast forward, you know, it was last year, this is when, like, just before COVID, it's like, I never, like, been in a relationship, you know, where I've actually given myself to someone. So now someone slid into my DMs and, you know, you can't tell someone's intentions, you know? And for me, again, it's like, I see the good in everyone until you give me a reason not to, right?
Yeah.
You know, someone messaged me, which, you know, now I can say, which was obviously a girl. We started talking, and when we started meeting up, it's like feelings started getting involved, and I didn't know what was happening. Again, I've never been emotionally involved with a girl. And again, like, you know, when I started bringing her around, my friends, they'll tell me, you know, it seems like this girl's proper, like, obsessive. Like, she would travel outside from, you know, Sussex all the way to London to kind of be with me 24/7. It's like, but I was just so blinded. Like, come on, I haven't been in love. Like, I'm like, oh my God, this person cares about me. This is the first time I'm feeling something, right? And then it started being, my friends were like, 𝐴MZY, this is a bit weird. Why is she, do you know what I mean? Like, it was like, she's so obsessive. Like, she's telling you to take her hair here. And I'm like, yeah, but she told me she loves me already. This is like, what, 4 days into the, you know, talking stage. I'm in love with you. I'm gonna marry you. That's how intense it got. And I'm like,
wow.
Really? And she's like, 𝐴MZY, I promise you, like, you're the one for me. And again, I fell for it. You know, I have ADHD, so I don't get to see stuff or process things the way normal people would. I didn't see the red flags. My friends are telling me the red flags. What are these red flags you guys are talking about? You know? And then it got to a point where, you know, as time went on, you know, I started seeing signs of, you know, oh my God, look at where I am. You know, it started, you know, and I'm like, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? And again, she wanted to be a presenter and all of these things. And then when I stopped taking her to events is when it became hostile. Oh, why don't you want me there? Are you cheating? I'm like, oh my God, this is like 3 weeks into the relationship. Chill, like chill. You're like, you don't own me, right? And then that's when I cut all ties, I like, you know, blocked this individual. And this was in March. This was in March, right? Okay. I was hurting, right? So, you know, I go on, you know, social media and I do indirects. I'm like, don't be with someone that doesn't appreciate you. You know, don't, people just want you for your materialistic things rather than you as a person, and they will use and abuse you because of who you are. It hurt me. I wanted, you know, to be in a relationship with someone loving me for 𝐴𝐚𝐲𝐬, where that's who I am, 𝐴𝐚𝐲𝐬. But my real, like, I want 𝐴𝐚𝐲𝐬, you know, like same way my friends love me. I wanted that in a relationship, and to find out that wasn't her motive and that she had other plans of just, you know, getting whatever she wanted. It happens because when you reach a certain level, I can't be surprised because you have all of these blueprints and interviews by people, you know, higher up where, you know, the interviews will be like, this girl only got with me for my money. This girl only got with me, or, you know, this guy, you know, I was like, and it was heartbreaking because that was the first time I opened my heart out to someone. That's why it hit even harder. So now lockdown hits. Life was great, you know, like I was still like, even though it was lockdown, you know, I was still doing good for myself, you know. Then June hits, right? And that's when the world got dark. You know, again, we have to take into account lockdown. Everyone was hurting, everyone's going through, you know, mental health. You have the Black Lives movement. When I mean that was the darkest point of social media, I'm telling you, everyone was like, and that's when the same week, by the way, I need to emphasize this, right? It all came out the same week for a lot of people. Justin Bieber, a random troll account with no profile picture, said, oh, he sexually assaulted me, raped me, right? You know, again, he had that. And then other people were just getting called out because it was a trend. That's what people need to understand.
This is that cancel culture, right?
It was, yeah. And my ex was brewing. She's like, 𝐴𝐚𝐲𝐬's doing wonderful things. Imagine like, I'm doing content for this brand, or I'm getting shoots in COVID. She was hurting because she couldn't use me anymore. She's at home like, what am I gonna do? This was perfect. You know what? Like, she planned it. This was planned. It was proven.
What did she do?
And when I mean proven,
What did she do?
She made her fake account and made a whole, you know, whole story, like, you know, a fake story around, you know, oh, 𝐴𝐚𝐲𝐬, I didn't know this girl, she did X, Y, and Z, and she kept making fake accounts with different multiple stories. Imagine.
Right.
It was insane. Like, for me to actually prove it was her, come on, like Steve said, fake accounts, you can't do. Where's the IP address? How can you say to the public that is definitely that person? Like, I had her use my sexuality, which I couldn't even come out. I couldn't.
So just to clear this up to people who need some more context.
Yeah.
As a malicious attack, she made a fake account.
Yes.
To let the world know that the photography 𝐴𝐚𝐲𝐬 that everyone loves in the industry
has
done what to me? What did she try to say that you did?
She said, words such as 𝐴𝐚𝐲𝐬's a nonce, sexual assault, like, is a bitter person, like, you know, that she was just, for her she's like, how can I hurt 𝐴𝐚𝐲𝐬? If I go on social media and say, oh, 𝐴𝐚𝐲𝐬's gay, that's more, you know, positive for me, because it's like, oh, like, do you know what I mean? As in, no one would have ever believed, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, 𝐴𝐚𝐲𝐬's gay, okay, how many people? But it was like, let me go a step further. She's seeing everything else happening to other people. It was like, you got the people who are actually committed and the people falsely accused. Who's to believe what?
Sick.
It's exactly why isn't everybody identifiable? It's just a madness, mate. You know, so many stories, so many scenarios, so many issues, so many.
All comes back to the same thing, doesn't it?
All come back to exactly the same thing,
which is
be identifiable.
Can I say something though? In this instant, like, She knew who it was.
Why did she need to make
Okay,
a fake
but
account?
so I knew. Look, so
Yeah, for the
say that
rest,
again.
for the
Yeah,
rest,
for the rest of the
world.
people to prove.
So she wanted to protect her own identity to shame your.
No, she
No.
didn't care about.
She didn't care. She wanted to ruin me.
Yeah,
This is
that
what
was
you
it.
need to like.
Yeah.
It's about ruining this. If I can't have you, no one can.
She knew.
Right?
She knew.
But the
no one
reason
else
why
knew.
I couldn't.
The rest of the world never
Can I
knew.
tell you something? The reason why I couldn't come and say stuff is because how can I now say, oh, hey guys, I was in a relationship with a girl? That is in fact, that's a whole opening Pandora's box in my community.
Yeah.
I'll get shamed, or like disowned, friends not want to associate with me because how can I, Amzi, a Muslim female, be gay? How? It has, guys, it's all over. Why do you think there's a movement called LGBT, like the movements that they do? Because they suffer from that. So I have that, by the way, that category. And, it was all,
Amzi.
She knew I couldn't defend myself.
Let me
because
ask
she
you.
knew,
So if you could defend yourself, so if that wasn't such a bad thing in your community, would it have been
I would,
easier?
yes.
You just
100%.
been marked
Should
it.
tell you why, because I
Really?
would have just slapped the receipts. I would have slapped the
Okay.
pictures with me and her, the messages. I couldn't because it's intimate. How could I be like, first of all, it wasn't a win-win situation. If I slapped my receipt, just think about it. I slapped my receipts and the world now knows I'm gay. I would have still got held loose.
Yeah.
I would have got cancelled. Oh, Amzi, I can't believe it. Like, she's embarrassed the community. Do you know what I mean? She knew what she was doing. There was no win-win situation. So now I'm like suffocated. I still don't want people to know, or I can't come out and say I'm gay. I'm like, okay, what do I do now? Like, do you know what I mean? Take the legal route now. Do you know what I mean? I said, if that's how she done it, I'm going all the way. I'm going from A to B. I'm making sure at that point, like, I was in such the lowest place. Like, I nearly attempted 3 times. Like, I don't want to get emotional, but like, it's like being admitted in a hospital. I had that to deal with. I had people that I never thought, would hurt me, disassociate because the heat was too much for them. Oh, my image, Amzi, I can't really, I'm so sorry. Imagine getting messages privately, oh, Amzi, sorry for what you're going through, but I can't be seen, associated with you. Having that hit me as well, do you know? It was the most, maddest time in my, I wouldn't wish on anyone, and my story again, my therapist, to the doctors, to the police, they couldn't comprehend it. I got hit in every single angle. Like, how can one person go through all of that? Do you know what I mean? Like, the family, the accusations, my sexuality coming out. It was so much. Do you get it? Having my family not agree with it and being I wouldn't say left on the streets, but again, it was a lot. Do you know what I mean? It was a lot, and I would not wish. And you know what? Someone who was put on, my ex put me on this list. Again, one guy that was also put on the list committed suicide because he couldn't handle. And by the way, out of everyone on the list, I got hit the hardest. And he killed himself, right? Because he couldn't handle the hate. And then when he killed himself is when, oh my God, guys, he was innocent all along.
That's the killer.
That's
the killing
and then
part
it
of the
was,
story.
oh my God, we shouldn't have and could have, and and I had to stay strong because when I saw that happening, that could have been me. Do you know what I mean? I'm not doing this. I have to do it for people who've gone through my situation. I have to keep that, and that's what kept me strong and, taking the time out to be strong enough to even do this, it's not easy.
Do you understand how tough you are, though, innit? Do you know?
Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you though? I'm saying, you understand what you've gone through and what you've come out the other end, and now you're talking to the people like you are a shining light. Honestly, you're so tough.
100%.
Magic, honestly, so
Thank you.
tough.
I
I've
appreciate it.
got little girls. I could only hope that they're as tough as you, because they're gonna get this, because the way Instagram and the internet is not protected.
You are literally the inspiration.
Yeah, man, 100%.
Well done.
Honestly, Amzi, I knew that this story was coming, and I'm so proud of you for coming on and telling it. And that, what's so toxic about that cancel culture? They don't even check the facts.
They don't check.
They'll just retweet. Amzi, did you hear about this? Retweet. And it's breeding false information.
And they don't care, they don't come back. You know what it is? I wouldn't mind if they come back and go, you know what? Listen, on their Twitter feed, to all their 310,000, whatever it may be, you know what? I just want to make a big point of this. I was wrong. I'm sorry. And then retweet the retweet. Let everyone know I'm sorry. Go back and
Yeah.
back. Just like when you give the smoke, how you went every single day from morning to night.
Yeah.
You should do that with the apology.
Yeah.
But I know they won't.
They don't
We
do
know
it
they
with the
won't.
apology.
Of course
They
not.
don't do it with
You
the
know,
apology.
yeah, they were like, I've had people, after the times passed, again, my ex got her personal accounts taken down, her fake accounts taken down. She can't be on social media, but it's like, for me, I put that like out as in my side. Eventually, it took 7 to 8 months
Wow.
for this, but because again, it's like we're in lockdown, the police backlog. There's so many factors into it, and now I get it's like, why don't people report? It's because again, the police are not doing enough. There are more crimes committed than there's more crimes created than there is, the legislation keeping up, right? Same as like, and for me, it's like having the police tell me, oh, Amzi, have you thought about deactivating or, moving places or, imagine, by the way, the first time I went into the police station, the woman that was taking, my accounts of, I was telling her what was happening to me. She said, what is Instagram? What is Twitter?
Yeah,
don't understand
that's,
it.
that's not good enough.
I'm breaking down. It's just like, it was like, and if it wasn't for my friends, and my loved ones and my supporters, I wouldn't be sat here today. Do you know what I mean?
I just feel that the police are so overworked and over all these issues they have to go around. They have to go around.
Yeah.
If there's 6 people in the house, they have to go around like 5 officers or policemen and speak to these people. Bless them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
but but the other side is that if you go to someone and abuse them in the fucking street, you're gonna get arrested.
dealt with, yeah.
You see, there's no
it's just-
consequences
it's
for
just-
online.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the problem.
But it goes to the same thing, being identifiable every single time, every single.
That'd be the first thing, Wayne.
Every single, it'll stop.
Yeah.
It'll stop. If everyone's identifiable, it will stop.
They won't make no money. 70% of the people on there, I reckon, are probably trolls or on there for smoke.
Really?
On there to throw their
But
character.
you want to know why? Yeah, because there's no consequences.
Exactly.
Get out,
No
get
one's,
it out you.
no one's
Nothing.
been made an example
Nothing.
in the public eye to say, if you are a troll and you do this, this is your punishment.
Yeah.
There isn't anything
Nothing.
in our justice system.
Nothing.
And we can't even blame the police because,
No,
again,
it's
it's
not
the
blaming
bigger
them.
picture.
That's what I'm saying. It's not
they
their
only,
fault.
exactly. And I'm like, again, I know someone who's very close to me who's a police officer. She's actually done a master's degree on, and, my situation was very, very telling. Do you know? Like, she said, as a police officer myself, your situation is a catch-22 because there isn't anything in place for emotional abuse.
Yeah.
It's not
Exactly
taken
that.
as serious, but then, like,
The
you got,
consequences are the same.
there
That's
you go.
mental.
You're hurt mentally. People are dying
Face
from
to
the
face,
situation.
face to face verbal abuse, you get arrested for that shit.
Yeah.
Online, there's
Written
nothing.
or
But
online or
it's
nothing.
we do have to say it's a new industry.
Of course it is.
But as I say, they've been in it a long time now, these platforms. You know
Long
what's
time,
going
mate.
on. We know they know because if you listen to Tristan Harris talk, he done the social dilemma. We've seen that was on
Yes, great program.
Netflix, right? So he was involved in that, but he worked at Google. He's worked on Silicon Valley, where all
Great
these people
program.
come from, right? And there's a lot of whistleblowers that will tell you what is going on is mental, and they're not changing it. They're actually bringing out new ways to get groups. Groups breed hate. You know what I mean? So
Yes,
that's what they're
that's-
pushing.
that's-
They're pushing groups.
That social dilemma film, it just explains
Bro, I watched
everything.
it. I listened to Tristan talk. I took my kids
Clever,
offline.
man.
Simple, straight away.
Well, the proof's in the pudding now. Like, we always say how, it's up to the social media execs, but ViewPay have proven that you can hold people accountable. So if Facebook, if they wanted
It's
to do
easy,
it,
innit?
If they wanted to do it, they can. But bro, like imagine as a businessman, if you're telling me, bro, like, but listen, there's money here. There's money from.
It's a financial.
Like,
It's a
I'm gonna
financial.
do it as a business.
It's a
I wouldn't.
well, so they are making money from having the trolls.
It's a
Are you
fi-
kidding me?
bro,
No, 100%.
Engagement. It's all about engagement.
It's a financial disturbance that they don't need.
Really?
And you know what's so sad is just like, again, my situation, it was one person that, again, 7 to 8 months of me going back and forth with Instagram, Twitter. Imagine you can't do that for every single person.
Yeah.
That's like half the year gone, right? Just to get them to say,
Yeah.
imagine Twitter at the beginning didn't want to take it down and then said, you know what? That's like we're taking it all down because of, again, it was for me, you know, emotionally draining, and then and people wonder why we are so. Social media creates more bad people than it does good because it's a new trend. Oh, if you do this, you know, you get this many likes. You know, it's like adrenaline for them.
Yeah.
They're loving it. Do you know what I mean?
Notice,
you know, and then like for me to have to go, even like Shade Bar, for example, I got their whole domain taken down. They had 48 hours to take down my article.
Wow.
I had to take it legally, but why did it have to take me? I messaged them and said, listen. They didn't want. It's like the process. It's like you have to struggle in order to for your freedom.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, again, it goes back.
But you know, there are so many nice people on Instagram and
it's
Facebook.
changed my life, bro.
So many nice people.
It's changed my life.
You know,
so it's the best thing.
I get so much love. I mean, but it's the hate that people will remember. You know, it's the hate that, you know, it takes one person to make one nasty comment, and then, especially on Twitter, it's a dark, dark place.
It's mad.
Then retweet, then it's bang. It's across. I was trending for 48 hours for pushing a girl in the pool on a dating funny thing. It was a funny video. 48 hours I was trending, and it was all abuse because one person picked up, oh, Wayne Linneker's pushing young girls in the swimming pool by their tits. Nah.
What? Wow. How do you push someone by their tits,
bro? You know, it was an old dating. It was an old dating
concept.
And we did it ourselves, didn't we? And all these girls work for me in a dance group, and they're all between 25 and 30 years old. They're all grown women, and we're just having a bit of fun, weren't we?
That's it.
And the one that was left standing went out with me for a date. It was bullshit, but it was a video. And I was, when you push someone in the pool, you push them in like that, don't you? You don't push them in by the forehead or the, you know, or the kneecaps. You push them in by the chest. And a woman picked it up on Twitter who had a lot of following, and she found it a very feminist. And I get it slightly, but not really.
Do you get it? I'm sorry, I've got kids. No, I'm not trying to be out here getting cancer myself.
I get.
Do you get it because of the system where we're at now?
Yes, exactly. Exactly that. Exactly.
Is that what we've been doing since kids?
But there was no thought in my head whatsoever. I never touched one of her breasts or anything. It was just like I push a guy in the pool. Push a guy in the pool like that.
He wasn't thinking, bro.
You know, but it was fun. It was fun. At 48 hours I was trending. It took that one tweet from that woman. It went mad, bro.
Yes,
it went
Everyone
mad.
jumps on it.
Yeah, of course.
And like
they encourage it though on social media platforms.
Yeah,
they actually push algorithms that whatever you like, they will push the stuff that you hate because it knows it gets your back up more.
Yeah.
Wow.
But even though I know I'm loved more than I'm hated, but the fact that I did that woman posted that, then the haters, the small percentage of haters,
they cling on.
Mate, it was mad.
Just them fire torch
I woke
things.
up in the morning, like my WhatsApp was like, bro, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? I'm like, what?
This is crazy.
You know, have I attacked someone? Have I what?
Guys,
I just did a funny viral video and that was it. It was like
Mad thing.
Guys, I can tell by the time when the cameramen look at me, we have to wrap this up. But just to end on a positive note, because you've spread your wisdom, thank you so much for sharing your insight, your family, how you've addressed it. The app is amazing. 𝐀𝐦𝐳𝐲, like, it's inspiring to even hear your words. But I don't want to hear the negatives. Tell them now what you're doing and how the brands have not cancelled you and you're still active and you're busier than ever. What state of mind are you in right now?
Like, honestly, since my situation, like, more companies have come, you know, to show their support. I.e., you know, I got Boohoo Man and, you know, other companies.
You
know, and it's because they saw it from a mile away. You know, even like, you know, big companies such as like Adobe have now made me one of 10 people in the whole United Kingdom an ambassador, you know, and that's like winning the Oscars as a creative, you know, like you don't get that, you know, and someone like me, you know, again, it's like I knew, you know, I was gonna have it harder, do you know what I mean? Again, because of my background or me being a female and Muslim, like for me, this is a big win, you know, and you know, and it's just like, I'm happy because, you know, God put me in this position in order to kind of be an example, i.e., you know, again, our religions, if you take it back, whether like again, in my religion, the prophets, they went through a lot, you know, but they were God's favorite. You know, good people go through, you know, exactly. But, you know, we have to showcase that, you know, you kill them with the kindness, you kill them with positivity. And, you know, again, like, you know, I've been blessed even more than I could have ever imagined. Like, I never, like, again, Adobe, you know, again, it was my 5 to 10 year plan to be an ambassador. I have it. I'm here. That was at the top of like all of my lists.
Amzi, you know what they say? Him or she who laughs longest.
Is it?
Him who laughs longest.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Laughs the longest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys,
So basically, yeah. Steve-O?
I'm not laughing, as they say. I'm joking, bro. My thing is, you know, as I say, the apps come in that I just want to give people a different perspective on social media. That's what it comes down to, mate. But thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
It's been amazing. Yeah, man.
Really has.
Sick.
Thank you, man.
Sick, yeah.
Yay.